Welcome along to Douglas Town Hall to meet with another recipient in the Queen's Honours List. With me, David Christian MBE. Surprised?
I was very surprised. I had a telephone call from His Excellency about 6-7 weeks ago, and he basically put to me, how does David Christian MBE sound? And I had to say to him, it's probably the first time in 25 years in politics that I'm lost for words, because I've never ever given a thought to any sort of honour like that at all. Never.
And what's it for? Your work to the community and your council work?
It's in recognition of my work for local government and the community of Douglas. It's the actual title of it. So.
And of course you don't know who actually nominated you.
No, you don't get told at all. It's just that he received a very good nomination, and he was very happy to put that forward, and it's obviously gone through the various processes it needs to go through in Downing Street, and he was ringing up to see that if the Queen was minded to award me the honour, was I prepared to accept it? And, well, of course, yes, very happy to accept it.
No hesitation on that one?
No hesitation at all. And then I think about 3 weeks ago, the official letter come through to say that she was minded to award the honour, and that it would be public as from today. So it's been very hard keeping it to yourself for 6 or 7 weeks.
So what does it mean to you then to get this?
It means a lot. I entered politics some 25 years ago, and apart from 1 year I took out from the council, and I suddenly realised that sitting in the public gallery at the back, you can't do anything. So I stood again the next year, and then I've been returned each year ever since. And then last year in a contested election, because I had several uncontested, and I topped the poll in Douglas and then topped the poll on the island as well. And that was very gratifying to me, because it said that people still believed in what I stood for, and still supported me and believed in the manifesto I put out. I came into politics to hopefully make a difference, to try and help people. And that's always been my reward. You don't get a great deal of thanks, but when somebody does write to you, or somebody picks up the phone and thanks you, you know they genuinely mean it. And that is what's always felt good to me. And in local politics, you're dealing with issues that may seem very small to some people, but can be a big issue to the person concerned. And they can just be day-to-day, genuine, mundane issues. And if you can resolve that, that has always given me a lot of satisfaction. So I think to receive an honour of this nature, it's very humbling, to be perfectly honest, because I've never ever thought about it. I wouldn't have known how to go about even nominating somebody else, or how you actually get your name put forward. I do now, because I've been and Googled it all and looked it all up, but I didn't know beforehand at all, so it was a complete surprise. And also, I think I have to say that it's a tribute to the people closest to me as well, because they've had to put up with a lot over 25 years. I mean, I've just been away on holiday for the last fortnight, and every day I was away, I was still dealing with council emails, council reports coming through, signing them off. You know, people say you should switch off, you're on holiday. Well, that's the nature of the beast, I'm afraid. I don't switch off that easy.
I think one of the surprises for a lot of people is that you stayed in Douglas Council and never, as far as I'm aware, you've never stood as an MHP. No. Is that going to change next time around? I mean, will we ever see you going for the national politics, or are you very happy on local politics?
I think from after my first election, I think the report about 18 months after I'd been in the council, and it was Alistair Ramsey at the time who was working for the newspapers, and Alistair did a big headline, "This is the young man to watch for South Douglas." And I think every general election thereafter, people have sort of touted the fact David Christian will stand. I have always been happy with local politics. As I say, I like dealing with day-to-day issues that affect people, that to many people would turn around and say, oh, what are they going on about? But to some people, it can be a major issue. So I do like that type of work. The council has moved on in leaps and bounds. When I first came in the council, lots of the business was conducted behind closed doors.
Well, some still is, of course.
Very little. I would say that 98% of business is in the public domain, and it literally is now staffing matters or contractual matters that are in discussion in private. The rest of it now appears on those public agendas. Now, that was not the case when I first came in the council. We have a constitution, the first local authority in the island to have one. You know, I fully support local government reform. I'd love to see it come down to 5 authorities on the island from 24. I believe local authorities should retain housing on the island. Yes, it needs to change. It needs to come from 17 authorities, again down to 5, and that should be married with local government reform. So there are big issues out there that I still want to get my teeth into. There's the state of Douglas. We're looking at regeneration at the moment. Money's tight, but the works we're undertaking at the moment isn't going to be the be-all and end-all. It's not going to complete it. Money is going to have to be found. We're going to have to encourage greater investment into the town centre. They're all issues I want to be involved in. Am I likely to stand in the future? The result I got last year in the council election, as I've previously said, was very gratifying. To top the poll, particularly when we had a new candidate standing, and Councillor Joyce, who had really gone out and wore out I don't know how many pairs of shoes and was going to give me a run for my money. I didn't expect to top the poll. I thought, you know, you've been around so long now, people will say, new blood, he's the one for us. But I did top the poll, closely followed by Councillor Joyce and closely followed by the current mayor. But then to get the highest result on the island, and then the phone calls I got from people around the island again, and the general comment I was getting off people was, you're not a sitter on the fence. You know, we may not always agree with you, but you will express your opinion. You always seem to do your homework. These were the comments I got off people when canvassing and after the election. So I've been bolstered by that result, and I think let's see how it pans out during the course of the next couple of years. I think to be honoured in the way that I have with the MBE, I think will spur me on to still want to do work within the community. I mean, I do work as a magistrate, as a justice of the peace, and again, I see that as just another way of giving something back to the community. When you go up to the next level, that's your job. You know, that's what you get paid for. And I don't know whether I'd feel a bit as if it wasn't quite doing the community spirit that I do as a local authority member. But let's say never say never.